All this camera gear you see right here, this, these, all this, these, none of that matters. Apart from it kind of does.
Action.
There is a lot going on here. Come explore with me and see some of the things that are required to make all of this possible.
Now with this production we were pretty lucky in that we were one of the first to shoot with the Panasonic Lumix GH7, which was our B and C camera to the A camera, which was the Arri Alexa Mini LF. Now why would you pair those together? Well, the GH7 allows you to shoot in Arri Log 3. So it actually is the perfect B and C camera to match with the Mini LF. Now obviously there's going to be other things that need to match as well, like the lenses, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and this is never going to replace a Alexa, which was a rental from Boca Rentals, because that thing is not cheap to buy. It's a $100,000 camera versus the GH7, which is $2,200. But for matching purposes, it's an extremely budget-friendly way to get the Alexa color. Now Lumix worked directly with Arri to actually make this happen, down to the level that the color was perfected at every ISO you're going to be using with the GH7 to make sure it looks exactly how it's meant to look. Now with this being my first time on a larger set like this, I learnt a ton about how production works, and a term I'd never heard before was video village. This is essentially an area of monitors that show live feeds of all the cameras, allowing the directors, the producers, the DP, whoever is pulling focus, and whoever else needs to see what the cameras are seeing.
That's for the noose too. Oh, sorry. Let's do that, the action. As soon as he says action, let's go for the noose.
And for the most part, this is done pretty far from where the scenes are taking place, so it needs to be done wireless.
So for this production, I've been the first AC for the B cam, and we're using the Hollyland Pyro S. They've been great because we've been able to actually have 3 of them, actually 4 running at the same time. Haven't really had any issues. Also, this is a new monitor that just came out, which is freaking sick. You've been using it, right? What do you think about it? It's pretty.
It's actually really awesome. I like how it's all built into one.
Right.
And it can be both, so I can use this to transmit out if I need to. So we have the same monitor on the Alexa.
Right.
And it's pretty awesome.
So if you want to mount this to your camera, again, this could be a transmitter or receiver, which is pretty clutch.
Now on set, as well as sending the video wirelessly from the cameras, there's a ton of other moving parts that need to be coordinated.
You tell us why it's important.
Why this is important, so I can talk to my team and say, hey guys, I actually think that mirror is way too hot over there. I can just tell them to just change some lighting, and then I can tell my camera team to adjust some stuff here too via this, and then you have to go in there.
This is the Hollyland headsets that we've been using all day, and I will say they're very comfortable. They haven't dropped out yet, and I've been quite far away, and I can hear anyone. I don't know how it works exactly, if there's a main that everything connects to or there's a hub, but it's pretty cool.
So there is a hub,
There's a hub.
and the hub can take 8,
Okay.
but you can daisy chain 2 hubs together, and then they can take 16. And they are connected via Ethernet there.
Now the lenses on set weren't autofocus lenses like we're typically used to talking about on this channel. We used anamorphic lenses from Atlas.
My name's Cam Mackey. I'm the pretentious anamorphic obsessed guy on YouTube. I got an Atlas Mercury in my hand right here. When these things first came out, these were there was nothing else on the market like this. There pretty much still is nothing else on the market like this. The character that they're getting out of this, they're cheating extra stretch and bokeh on the edges. The flares on here are just gorgeous. There's no other lens coming out there that are competing anamorphic wise with the lens flares on here. We're shooting a Western here. Traditionally, a lot of Westerns were shot on 2x or even 2 per film. And so in this day and age, you know, getting a 1.5x lens with extra character is just clutch. Okay, first time DPing a Western.
Yes.
Talk to me. What's your methodology here?
I did a lot of research. I basically was on Shot Deck all day looking up Western films and just looking up images and seeing how they had this really rustic feel, this really harsh light, and really just making sure that we duplicate that. And then also still playing with like barrel distortion. We have these beautiful anamorphics, and I think that's going to add to like the creativity of it. Arri Mini LF for A, and then we have the Lumix GH7 for B, Atlas Mercury. This is my first time for everything. First time with anamorphics, and I've been trying to just use them, and I'm super excited. Beautiful. Like every lens is so beautiful. Even the barrel distortion is beautiful. Like the depth, everything is just woo.
This is a G&E truck, which stands for grip and electric. This one's from Blackstone Entertainment, who filled it with everything the crew needed to essentially make every scene look the way it did. But it's never anything you see in frame, it's what's going on all outside of the frame, behind the camera, the real behind the scenes. All the stands, the accessories, apple boxes, clamps, ladders, sandbags, ways to shape light, like flags, mirrors to reflect light, and of course, the lights and lighting itself. Lighting is definitely not my expertise, but the longer I do this and the deeper I get, the more I see it is one of, if not the most important part in making a scene look the way it does. Here's a deeper look at how some of those scenes were actually lit, both for day and for night.
I'm taking you here as the DP on this film set. Now we're shooting a Western film right now in California. This stuff gets intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. Even a couple of years ago, I saw big stuff on the scene and I was like, I don't know what the hell it does, quite honestly. So I wanna just take you with me to simplify it and make you realize how simple it really can be. How's it going?
This guy is super arrogant, man.
So really this is kind of the same structure as what you see, or as what you would do in your bedroom with small bounces and stuff like that. So I want to walk you through exactly what this lighting setup is going to be looking like. You guys can come all through, it's all right. We're on a film set, it's real. Really, we're shooting inside this saloon right now. And I saw that go for you. We're shooting inside the saloon, so we're shooting what's called a day interior. So now we see this big light bounce right there. Let's talk about that because it could be overwhelming. It's large. It's a 12 by 12 ultra bounce is what it's technically called, meaning it's a big white bounce light and it's angled that way because it's taking the skylight, bouncing off of that and shooting it into this window. So we're gonna see all this play out in a second. We've got hard lights punching in through these windows. So we've got this M18 and we've got this through this. Right here, this is called a gel. These lights are stuck at just a white light. They're just very daylight white. So this just warms it up a little bit to start to get that subtle golden hour look, like it's 3 p.m. light type of deal.
So that would be the equivalent if you used the bicolor light.
That'd be the equivalent of, say, we used a bicolor light. This other one right here is a Nanlux 2400B. So B stands for bicolor. Notice how there's no gel in front of here? We can just go into this ballast and drop it down to about 4,500 Kelvin. We've got this mirror taking that light and also bouncing through the windows. And it's blasting in here, and you can see that little reflection that you see on the wall. Right there. That's from that mirror. So if we looked out here, it's bouncing right off the mirror from that light in here, but it's also giving these shafts of light in here.
Cam, what light you got going on right here?
So we have the Nanlite Forza 720 daylight balance. We're motivating the sunlight just blasting through the window here, and it's being powered through this DJI power station. This is wild. It's running a 720 watt light. This should last us maybe 2 or 3 hours off that, and yeah, pretty simple.
So the purpose of using this light is to interview everybody on set to see what their roles are. So this is what it looks like.
Now you can see it. It's just coming through the window. The window's really dirty and there's a bunch of scuff on it, so it's helping diffuse it. It's kind of giving like a glowy look in the back, and then it's just bouncing into this ultra bounce here. So I basically want to motivate the natural light coming through the window, and I'm just pushing it and enhancing a little bit so we can lift the shadows a little bit more in the exposure. But yeah, it almost doesn't look like it's lit at all, and that's kind of the point.
And it's not just lighting things with lights either. Reflectors and mirrors were used a ton to shape natural light, and then at nighttime to evenly spread a harsh light to make it look more like moonlight.
What was it you were just saying, Cam?
It's funny because when you have all these people helping you, the camera kind of ends up not mattering because they can make any camera look good because look at all the production value you're putting into it. But then where it gets funny is in order for all of them to actually utilize the camera and get their hands on it, they end up needing a better camera, quote unquote better. It's not actually better, it's just expanded more. So more people get their hands on it, they can build it out more, they could treat it like a tool for a bigger production like this. So
now it's true what camera's saying here, the camera really doesn't matter. It is how the camera is rigged that is more important, so that everyone is able to use that camera as a tool in the way that they need it to work and function.
Okay guys, so I'm here with Adam, my first AC. He's the one who makes sure that everything works and is operational. This is the GH7. We're gonna go ahead and walk through all the things that it takes to make it work for a proper production. So would you mind walking through?
Yeah, so the GH7 has a wonderful image, but to use it in a production environment, there are a lot of things we can add that improve the way we use it. The first thing is we added a V-mount plate. We're using Condor Blue's Pro Power Plate, And that just allows us to power all the accessories without draining the tiny little battery that runs in here. Running off this battery, we have a focus unit, as well as our top monitor, which gives better visibility, and our Hollyland transmitter, which allows multiple people to view the feed remotely. We're also running a DAD timecode box here, which allows us to sync all of the sound smoothly in post. It saves a ton of time. We're also using an adapter to use PL lenses. You could use autofocus lenses, but these PL lenses deliver a quality that's far greater than any photo lenses. So these Atlas Orion Anamorphics are giving us a really unique look and a really awesome Western feel. On the front, we got the Condor Blue matte box, which gives us multiple filter options. It also gives us the ability to block sun flares. Right now, the sun is really low. If you don't have something like this brow, you could get flares that you don't want.
Now, this being a Western, there has to be gunfights and even an explosion. Obviously, safety is a top priority on set for these kinds of things. It's fascinating to watch the whole process, and I thought you might like to see some of it.
We're gonna have an explosion, which is 1 pound of black powder and a quart of jet fuel.
All right, we're rolling. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, action.
Clutch.
We make sure you are safe. I've been doing this over 50 years. We are licensed by ATF, Department of Justice, Bureau of Firearms. We're trained firearms instructors. We make sure you're safe. We tell everybody, watch out on the set. We have loaded weapons. We have so many blanks. Depending on how many shooters we have, how many blanks. We tell you there's 5 blanks on the set. Now it's very easy for you if you can concentrate. If everybody's shooting and you count 5 bangs, you know all 5 blanks went off. Watch out on the set. Gun is loaded with 1 blank. Fire in the hole. Now, immediately gun goes back to us. We take it out, show everybody that's involved, that's shooting, gun's empty, and if you clear us, you said, okay, you said, set is now safe, gun is cold. And that's the procedure.
We're doing a test of the dust hits. It's going to be towards this wall
Okay,
here.
Jimmy, right under the tub, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay with that?
That's gonna go around you, and clearly he has good aim because it was right under the tub.
I'm pretty good with it.
So I think we'll start with her hiding, dust hits, and then we'll say Charlie, and you'll go 2 shots in a row, and then you come back, and you get dust hits, and then you do your line.
Now this video, the sound all in it, the music I used, and even the music used to score the actual film is from Audio, who are one of the sponsors of this video. Now obviously with this film being a Western, you could go in and you could pick genres and moods that would match that Western theme. But Audio has something called Link Match AI. So if you want to try and mimic songs from movies or from soundtracks you like, you can use this without the fear of getting that copyright strike. Pretty simple in how it works. Go into Spotify, copy the URL of the song that you want to try and mimic, and paste it in here. What it's going to do is throw out songs that have very similar genres, feelings, and pacing to what you pasted in. If you want to try this tool out for yourself, if you click the link down below, use the discount code on the screen there and you can try Audio out. This video is very interesting for me to make, like a much higher production version of all the stuff that we have talked about on this channel on a regular basis, cameras, rigging, lighting, but now we're like using those on a production set. I'm very thankful to be able to be involved with this kind of thing. I know there's a lot of aspects of the production I missed, things like sound, wardrobe. I have it all in there, but it just would have been way too long, so I had to really pick and choose what I wanted to use. But there are going to be more of these in the future. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did being there and being able to make this edit and show you the full behind the scenes of this production. I think that's it.
All right, everybody, that's a picture wrap on No Good Legend. Woo! Congratulations.
Good job, everybody. Thank you so much. Now let's wrap. A lot of gear.